Previously on Abandoned and Forgotten Places.
And we have an unlocked door. Look at this. We're open. Open for business. Oh, hey, look at this, is cool. What kind of a mineral we have here? Oh boy, I'm trying to imagine. What's this on the floor? Ooh, fungus. Yeah, we got fungus among us. Right there, see it growing out of the rotten wood? Yep. Should I get a better shot? Let's do a close-up on that. That's really cool. Look at that. Okay. What do we have up here? Uh-oh, I see collapse. I do. Yep. Old rotten timbers. Let's get out from under that real quick. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna step over that. And we definitely got a collapse up here. We got more fungus. Yeah. Okay. Maybe somebody came up in here once with that athlete's foot, and now it's taking over. Yeah, this mine is really well visited. I mean, the clay type material on the floor right here is just all matted down from countless footprints. Okay. All right, we got a big area of collapse here. Boy, that is some really weird looking fungus type growth right there. Look at the hairs on it. Isn't that neat? Huh. That's cool. Okay, can we get past this safely? Or is the whole darn thing gonna fall on our heads? Let's try not to think about that, huh? Ooh, boy, that came down in one big flump. Recently, too. Heck yeah. Oh gosh, it just keeps getting worse here. Let's get past it. Yeah, that's an area of lots of groundwater coming through there. Okay. Oh yeah. This is a really bad area. You notice you can't hear my echo no more. Super soft. Beer bottle on the left. People have been up in here. Yeah. Huh. Oh boy. Okay, coming into an interesting area. There's some RPM motor oil. Yeah, we found a few of them over the years, haven't we? And we're at 29. What's down here? 29. Vent pipe. A bucket. Anything in the bucket? Let's not kick the bucket today. What's over here? Oh, was this some kind of a bulkhead for holding water at one time? No, don't think so. But it is an ore body. I can tell that by the spray paint marks with the arrows that they were considering taking. Yeah. Now look at this, guys. You know we've got all kinds of workings above our head. Here's a pipe coming straight from some of the workings high above us. They drilled right straight through and came down here. Don't know what it was for. Could be an old compressor pipe, could be for water drainage. I'm not sure. And it goes off that direction. Wow. Yeah. We really got ourselves into a big one, haven't we? Man. Look at this big collapse. That whole thing come down. Yeah, wow. Ooh. And there's more that wants to come down too. Let's be real quiet through this section. Yikes. Whew. Boy, that was dangerous. Yeah, that was a bad section right there. Now up here, this used to be all filled with water. Now the water's gone. Another bad section. Yikes. Okay. Well, I want to get the lighting just right so you guys can appreciate this. I'm going to try to get through here without touching anything. Okay. And without stepping on any kind of a nail. Okay. Well, at the same time, looking at the floor for anything, boy, there's just everything. This is just ugly. This is just all around bad. Bad. Let's keep going. Yeah, we're just gonna tiptoe through here like a little church mouse. We're coming to the end of the mine, guys. We sure are. Yep. All right, let's get all the way up in it, and then we can say that we did it. Okay, here we are. I'm talking quietly because you see right here, look to the left. We had a beam to the left, the beam to the right, and all that failed. So this is indeed the one that went 8,167 feet, and there's the collapse that pinched it off. Yep. Turning around. Let's get out of this section. Yeah, that's creepy. Really creepy looking. I like it. Okay, let's get past the mud. There we go. Makes you wonder. I better not talk loud. Let me get through this section first. Look at the mold. Wow. There we go. Interesting how all that timber was put in place roughly 20, 25 years before I was born. And now here I am all these years later, exploring this old abandoned mine. You gotta kind of sit back every now and then and appreciate that, you know? You know, think back to your childhood. You know, remember the things you did as a little kid? Here's that bad section. Let's get through it real quick. Yikes. Yeah, remember the things you did when you were a child? You know, 4, 6, 8, 10 years old. You know, playing with your toys. And during that entire time, this mine was here. Rotting away and doing its thing. And then you get a little older and get a little older. And then finally, you get to be 50 years old, like me. And you crawl up into it. It's just really cool. That's why I like abandoned. That's what I like about abandoned mines. They really are time capsules. Okay, so turning to the right. This is a drift that we found going off that direction. All right, let's see how far it goes. Past the carbide tin. And now look at this. Look at this cave formation. Yeah, this is natural. Yeah. See that? See how the water carved all that out? Natural cave. Very cool. Lots of water running through this mountain, isn't there? Yeah. All right. Heading up in deeper. As I was saying, we're running kind of parallel. Oh, this is that other one that we saw. See, we were just right over there. See where that wood is? Right over there. Because I remember seeing that jug. Speaking of jug, what is it? That's a jug of antifreeze. Yep. Antifreeze. I'm going to set the camera down for a second. Phillips 66 antifreeze. Ugh, it has so much corrosion on it. There's no way I'd ever get a date. I could find a date on that. Okay. Yeah, look at the guys from Utah have really been. See how they marked the vein? Look at that. Isn't that cool? Mm-hmm. There's the vein right there. About 2 feet going up and 2 feet wide in the vertical, 2 feet wide in the horizontal. They get it all marked off. Ooh, slippery. Whew. All right, what do we have here? Yeah, we got an ore body. We certainly do. Look at this. They got it all spray painted and designated. They got it flagged over there. 3948 test number. Very cool. Okay. Water bottles left behind from the people that did come up in here. All right, what do we have up here? And goes up there and stops. All collapsed. Sure is. Okay. Turning around. What's up in here? Now the mine did a big bend to the left. Ooh-wee. Boy, this is really ugly. Look at all the block and bracing here. Look at how much they braced to keep this from coming down. Wow. Holy cow. I don't even want to look above my head, guys. It's just too frightening. Yeah. Man, oh man. Look at that. Yeah, I know my limits. Too much fault gouge. Too much going on there. That is way, way too dangerous. I want to live long to explore a lot of mines, and I'm not going to put forth that level of risk. Not in a mine like this that's not going to have much of any artifacts. No way. There is just a massive amount of block and brace and fault gouge, groundwater penetration going on up there. Just layer after layer of danger. You know, they say ignorance is bliss. Well, yes, it is. Problem is, I've got a pretty good knowledge of geology, and I know what's over the top of my head right going through that section. Okay, and chances are, here's what we're going to do. The other reason I turned back, I get the sneaking suspicion that when we come up to our next drift, which goes off to the right, okay, it's just going to meet up with that. See, so what's happening here is, if indeed it does, they're running these drifts off to the, well, right now it'd be to our right, but when we were coming in, it would be to our left. So they kind of go wide, and then they come back and meet up with the haulage at it. Then they go wide, and then they come back and meet up with the haulage at it. Yeah. Let's look here. See? What'd I tell you? Told you. I'll bet if we step up in here just a little ways, we'll be able to poke the flashlight right up into, oh, I guess not. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the size of this collapse right here. Now this, you can see the timbers, see that right there? So indeed it did. It curled right back and went right back to where we just came from. But look at this, all of this is slabbed off and come down. Yeah, I got the layout of this mine figured out already. I sure do, in my head anyways. I'll tell you what, let's talk about collapse while we walk underneath collapse. So how does a collapse work? Well, it comes down in two ways. It can come down really fast if there's any kind of a seismic event in the area. Then you'll get one big foomph, like what you see right here. You see that? Yeah, and there ain't no footprints in it either. So that has fallen down since the last person was here. Or it comes down in drips and drabs. Little piece here, little piece there. Over time. Yeah. Oh man, boy. Man, let's get out of here. That's a bad spot. Yikes. I want to show you guys something. Look at this. Turn the light down. Look at the fungus. Looks like tree roots, but it's not. Isn't that neat? Okay. Well, we're just walking along at a pretty good clip here. Yeah. Yes, for those of you asking, I have perfected the art of talking to myself. I am my own best friend. Okay, another drift that we didn't explore. With rail. Well, now we get to see the size of the gauge rail that they were using in here. See that? Yeah, 24 gauge. Sure was. And we got compressor pipe going off this direction. Well, that's cool. Okay. Oh. Ouch. Just about twisted my ankle there for a second. All right, what do we got up in here? Collapse, mold, lots of mold. That is neat. That is so cool. Look at that. That is so awesome. That's a heck of a patch, isn't it? Neat. I'll put my foot down there. You get a size of how big that is. Let's see, where's my foot? There's my foot. There you go. Two. Cool. All right. What's up here? Oh, more soft spots. Okay. I think we can get past it. Aha. This was an ore chute. Let me show you. Yeah. We got our workings above our head. And this, where I'm standing right now, used to be an ore chute long, long, long ago. And ore pass. Okay. What do we have up in here? Is it going to come to a collapse? Let's look. We've got a ladder going up. Ladder used to go up into... what in the world? Wow, look at this raise. Oh my gosh. You see the hole right there where they were blasting going vertical? You guys have asked me, what are the most dangerous areas in a mine? Well, when you're working a mine, the absolute most dangerous things were putting in raises. And that's what that was right there. Because you're drilling vertical, and during the drilling process, the loading process of the dynamite, you know, you got to be really careful, and you're constantly scaling rock, and it's wanting to fall down on you all the time. It only takes a decent sized one and you got yourself a widowmaker. Yeah, just a very dangerous process. Now look at this ore chute. We got a big one here. We sure do. Yeah. All right, what's up here? That's it. That is it. That's as far as they went. Look at all the spider web patterns of the blasts. The dynamite went off. See the spider web pattern there? Pow! Bang! Okay, turning around. I'm going to set this down here for a second. Give you some perspective. Look at this meaty ore chute right here. Yeah. Gives you an idea of the size of this place, huh? Okay. Okay. That's as far as that one went. So now we know that the rest of these branches, not branches, but drifts, are going to be leading up to ore chutes. And that makes sense because in the early 50s, they were going after the tungsten. And it wasn't until the late 50s is when they decided to drive that big long 8,000 footer in. So what we're seeing as we work our way back out of this mine is the initial workings. Yep. You gotta wonder what's up in them big stopes above our head, huh? Yeah. You know, nobody's been up in there. So far, the only place I've been able to see where we could get up there is that the waterfall ladder. Yeah, I'm brave, but I ain't that brave. You know darn well that every single one of them rungs is going to snap on you. You got to have some kind of rope. I don't know how you'd rig it. How are you going to rig your way going up a waterfall ladder? All right. Continuing back towards the portal and looking for the next drift. And here it is. Let's go up there. Yeah, we know it's just going to go. Oh, holy mackerel. Well, I wouldn't have. This was a surprise. Look at this room. Wow. Very cool. Hey, we got a big old room here. Neat. Huh. I probably should, yeah, let's see here. How can I, there we go. Look at the size of this space. Oh, I pull my pants up here. Look at this. Very cool. Yeah. See how they have all they put in the steel here? I don't know, wait, what is that? That ain't steel. Nope, I take that back. Those are wooden hangers. That's what those are. Yeah. Wooden hangers. Okay. Well, so we had a little something going off that way and it stops right there and then they quit. But it does keep going on this way. Let's look over here. I see footprints going up there. Look at this. See that up there? Yeah, that might be a way to get into the stope. Maybe. Let's keep that on the menu. Let's go up here. We know it's going to come to an ore chute. This mine is becoming predictable. Okay. What do we got up there? We'll find out in a second. Here's our ore chute. That one had 1, 2, 3, again, four stoppers on it for controlling the flow. Here we've got a ladder going up, held by plumber's tape, and going up there into the stope. Looking down over here, bunch of ladders in a pile, all rotting away. And what do we got here? Oh, I was hoping we'd have an ore cart, but we don't. We got a day box. That's what that's called. That's the lid right there for the day box. Yeah. Now, what is a day box? A day box is used to hold blasting caps. Yep. Igniters, things of that nature. A day box is used to hold the things that detonate the dynamite. Okay? It's not used to hold the dynamite itself because you always want to keep your dynamite separate from your blasting caps. So regulatory stated you had to have a day box, and that's what we're looking at. And of course a bunch of modern vent pipe. Okay. Now look at here. Look at there. Okay. We got a beautiful quartz vein. It's about 4 inches wide. Look at that. Yeah. Wonder if there's any values in that. Probably not. Okay, stop. That's quick, speed up. Oh, doesn't go anywhere. Stops right there. Turn it around. pointing back out. Okay, let's speed up again. And here we go. All right, now we're back to the sign that reads into construction or something along those lines. 1998 is what's on the back of that sign. Okay. Did it go anywhere? Let's look real quick. Oh, we had a raise here. Yeah, it used to go up that direction. Probably had a ladder at one time, but that's it. All right, turning around. We can't have maybe, what, one or two more side drifts. I'll tell you what, let's speed up again. And here we are. Okay. Turning to the right. Let's see where this one went. Aha. I'm going, little guy going that way, little something going that way. But by the size of it, it's only like 4.5 feet tall. Let's kind of peek over this way. Yeah, I don't go anywhere. No, they were probing into something though, weren't they? That's it. It didn't go nowhere. Okay, turning around. We should be coming up onto another one. All right, let's speed it up. And here we go. Okay. Off to our right. This is number 3. 3. I guess that means we've got 2 more, right? All right, yeah. Okay. Again, they just kind of poked into it, didn't they? Yeah. Let's look up there a little bit better. That's about 5 feet above my head, so I'm just kind of raising my camera. Yeah, it goes a little ways, doesn't it? It does. Okay. All right, we're headed back to the primary here. Okay guys, give me a minute. I got a battery to change out. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. 2 fresh batteries. Okay, we should have 2 more drifts right up here. They're not going to be too far away. No. It'd just be right up here. Let's see here. What was... Yeah, here we go. We had 1 off to the right. I remember that one. Okay, turning left. This time, what do we have up here? Ooh. There's some slabbing going on there. Yeah. I'm just pausing for a second. I'm looking at the geology before I walk underneath it. Okay. What is that thing? Not quite sure what that thingamajigger is. Looks like a whatchamacallit to me. I can see why they put in this raise right here. Look at that, they're following that vein right there. That one's 6 inches wide of quartz. Okay, looking back towards the face, and indeed, this one faced out right there. Sure did. Okay, turning around. Oh, it's damp in here, but it's not hot. So even though it's wet and really mildewy, it's not hot, so I'm not really sweating like crazy. But the humidity is probably 80-something% in here. Okay. Continuing on. There's our daylight, the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes. I don't recall encountering any drifts through this wet section right here. I'll just let the camera run as we work our way out. Yeah, when I was looking at this on Google Earth, I knew I could see water coming out of the portal. Oh yeah, look at here. Indeed. Yeah, we got one going off to this direction. And it stopped right there. Okay, turning around. Yeah, I could see water coming out, so I knew we were going to have a wet foot today. So I did wear the appropriate socks to keep my feet warm. All right, here's one that we didn't get up into. Now look off to my left here. That's not quartz. Nope, that's got to be our tungsten ore again. Right there. Oh, there's something nasty up in here. There's something stinking. Phew. Oh, that water is just downright gross. All right. What's up here? Uh-huh. Okay. And over here. I ain't walking through that. Oh my gosh, look at that water. That's just, no, that's what's stinking. Look at the mold in that water. It doesn't go anywhere. It just goes up to there. I'm not going to walk through that moldy, putrid, nasty water. That's just gross. I draw my line. I already walked through it right here. Yuck. Yeah, gonna have to hose my boots and pants off when I get back to base camp. All right, back to the light and headed out of here. Tell you what, guys, I'll see you back outside. All right, guys, there we are, back outside, safe and sound. That was fun. Yeah, look here, where's the sun at? I didn't get too wet. I didn't get past my knee. It's only right up to here. That's as deep as it really got into that mine. So, All right. What did we have here? So, we had a big long haulage edit that we just walked, I don't know, somewhere between 2,500 to 3,000 feet. Okay. And then along the right side going in, we had where it was coming into an ore chute, coming into an ore chute, coming into an ore chute. And then as we got deeper, we had drifts going out, then going away from it, and then circling back in, and then another one going out and away and coming back in again. And we found that both of those were collapsed. So that tells me that the ore body, or the veins that they were chasing in this mine, were all mostly anyways, to the left as we were going in. That's where they were running, okay? We had a little bit of workings on the right when we first went in, but that was it. But you notice they didn't get into them very far. It didn't get them very excited, otherwise they'd have hollowed that area out even better. So the one place that we didn't go is to try to get up into those stopes. Now there was that little passage going up on that wall there. That might have brought us someplace. And then of course, there's the big waterfall ladder. I'm pretty daring, but I'm not that daring, guys. But there is some areas in this mine that are completely unexplored. And that's up in those stopes. How a person would ever get into those, I have no idea. And I thoroughly ran the drone all through this area, looking down in between the trees, trying to find air shafts, and there wasn't any. And we know that there's no air shafts in this mine, or no open stopes, because if there was, we'd have had a whole lot of air blowing in our faces, either one direction or the other, and we didn't have any of that. So there's nothing coming out on this hill. Kind of interesting to think that we were way underneath this giant mountain. Just think of how much rock was above my head. Isn't that incredible? Well, guys, thank you so much for coming along on another fun explore. I hope you enjoyed this one. I don't mind getting wet every now and then. It's not all that bad. We'll do it again someday. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you again next weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.